Welcome back to my Unreal World New Player Guide series. Okay, so I'm going to look at the elk skin. It is being prepared. What can we do now? Well, we've got 151 roasted elk cuts there, almost 200 cuts in all. We can go try and sell them and get something nice for them. So that's our next step, is finding a village. Actually, no. Should have decided this before I turned the video on. Let's build another shelter here. This can be our temporary home, if you will. So we're going to want to cut down a small tree. We got lucky with 5 slender trunks. You can get anywhere from 3 to 5 from a small tree. We only need 3 of them for the shelter, so we can use the others 2 for fire later on. And we'll collect some twigs from a spruce tree. We need 20 of those, so we'll have to do it twice. And I like to choose different trees, but you don't have to. You can use the same tree twice. And drop those there. I like my shelter quite close to the water, not right on the water. So I'll drop the stuff there. So build a shelter here. Okay, so one of the things that people like to do is they like to dry meat. And early in the game, people seem to have trouble getting a hold of cordage. And one of the easiest ways to get cord early in the game is with something called spruce withes. And I may be mispronouncing that. But you get them from these little saplings. You see, I'm standing on one, just north of me, just south of me, that sapling. So you can cut those down. I'll get my woodsman's axe. It's very easy to cut them down. Three minutes. And there's one over here. And I'll cut it down. And there's one down here. And you can also use the repeat command, which I should be using. I'll use that on this one. Okay. My fatigue's gotten a little high. So be careful to watch your fatigue. And be careful not to forget where your saplings you cut down were if you didn't pick them up already. Okay. I didn't have to bring all my stuff with me, but I wanted to bring the food. And so just to save time, I brought everything. Because if you leave the food behind, animals might steal it. Okay, so let's pick up those saplings. Well, we'll go into tying equipment, spruce withe. So you want a spruce sapling and a knife. So we have a fine hunting knife, which I assume it will want to use. But we'll take both of our knives and the saplings and go stand over here. I think you can drop the saplings on the ground. In fact, you can probably drop everything on the ground. Tying equipment, spruce withe. Oh, you can't. You have to have it on you. Okay, that's interesting. rest off my fatigue. They don't weigh very much, so it's not that big a deal. And spruce wide. So I got 7 decent and 1 poor spruce withe. Each of those is 4 feet. And with those I can dry meat on next to my shelter. Now, unfortunately, I cooked all my meat. I didn't think that I was going to do this right now. But that's how you can get cordage early in the game for free. It's readily available and doesn't take very long to do. As you can see, my elk skin is still being prepared. So now I'm going to take all my food with me so it doesn't get stolen by ravens or foxes. I'm going to take my bow and arrows, my rough spear. Oh, I still have the rock with me, I guess. I guess it can be my hunting rock if I want it to be. And try to go find a village. I don't need technically to bookmark this location because it will show up on the mini-map as a shelter, which you'll be able to see when I move off of it. So I kind of like to minimize the weight of what I'm bringing with me. So, oops. I'm going to drop my hunting knife, drop the rock. Just going to keep the broad knife because I bring my broad knife everywhere and it doesn't weigh much, and a spear in case I run into something that I have to fight. But I'm not looking for a fight. So you can see my shelter on the mini-map there, and when we zoom out you can see the icon for my shelter, so I'll always be able to find it. My fatigue's growing pretty fast because I've got so much, carrying so much. And we're going to try to find a village, fingers crossed. This could be a lousy video if I'm unable to do that. You don't have to zoom in to get rid of your fatigue, but I do. So I don't like doing things on the what's called the wilderness map, the zoomed out map, because oh, there we go. Video saved. So we see a settlement. It's down there to the south, a little bit west of where we are. So we'll head over there. Rest off some more fatigue. The fatigue slows you down, so it's important that you do that. It's not just there's a gameplay purpose to it. It's not just role-playing that, oh, I don't like being fatigued. Okay. I'm going to chat with this guy. I am Rambo. Someone needs help with chores. I don't really want to do that. So he can trade a net to me. If I wanted to fish, I could trade for that for him. And let's go in here and see what we have. There's a sage. I like to talk to the sages. They heal you if, well, they help you heal more quickly. Let me put it like that. I'm going to see if I can afford this fox fur, this Arctic fox fur. So let's trade. Okay, so I can afford more than that, so I'm not going to trade just yet. I'm virtually positive I can't afford both Arctic fox furs, but let's see. You never know. Wow, okay. So I guess we can make this a quick trading tutorial. 151, he wants a few more things. That means you're over 90% of the way there with your offer. So start the trade over, offer 151 and the 8, still wants a few more things. 151, 8, and we'll offer 8 of the tasty. He accepts that. Well, then let's 151, 8, and 4. Still wants a few more things. Okay. More than 4, less than 8. So try 6. Accepts that. Well, we'll see if he'll take 5. Okay, he took 5. He wouldn't take 4. So this is the best I can do. So I say, it's a deal. So I sold most of my meat, and I got 2 Arctic fox furs, which are much, much lighter, which I can trade for other things later or whatever. Now you may have something you need. You may want a better knife. Let's look around and see what kind of things I can buy. A fine broadsword, which I can't afford with what I just had. But if you save up a few furs, you can buy a fine broadsword. You can buy some arrows so that you're not always looking for your missing arrows, and you can afford to lose a few arrows if you like to use arrows. I don't generally use a bow and arrow. Let's see what else. Fine linen trousers, better clothes, a woolen cloak, fine hunting bow, you can upgrade your weapons, fine mail mittens. Now those are awesome, but I could not afford those with just a few cuts of meat. But those will, keep me safe if I start fighting other humans or bears, or, well, they'll keep my hands safe. They won't keep, by themselves, they're not sufficient to want to take on a bear. Another thing you're probably going to want to do is go Shift A. Well, look at that. That tells you all you need to know right there. My head is in not where it needs to be. I need a fur hood. So I can make my own once that elk skin is ready. I don't think I saw anything for headgear. But yes, go into Shift A and it'll tell you where your vulnerabilities lie, especially with respect to warmth. That's important. Remember, my hands were cold, and I made those mittens, and now my hands are yellow, which is sufficient, especially in the spring. So I think that about covers it. Thanks for watching.